On. It's all actions and all results. It's the Business Accountability Group this week tuning in our brains. It's Graham out here in Slovakia and Johnny in the good old US of A, I imagine that you have.
Sunny California, yeah.
Sunny California. That's super cool. And we're here for our 60 minutes of business accountability to catch up with what we've been doing, to explain what we are doing, and to look at the next step of progress in our business world. And if you can see things popping up on the screen behind me, that's because the Lewis House webinar is running and I'm trying to record it and have this conversation at the same time. And that's the wonders of technology. And if it works, I'll be stoked because I think there's going to be something useful in it, at least for me and maybe for other people as well at the same time. So now that we have this technology, it's a good idea to use it. Now, as happens sometimes, I feel like I'm under an avalanche of papers and ideas this week. Sometimes more happens in a week than happens in the months and months and months previously, or at least it's visible that something is happening, whereas sometimes it's hard to see those little steps. And so what I wanted to explain was that what's been happening in the last week, because I've encountered so much new information, and this is what I'm going to explain what's happening with, we haven't done, see, I'm in a mess. We haven't even done the elevator statements today. Like, let's do the elevator statements. We'll do the elevator statements, and then I'm going to come in with what happened and why I'm in the situation that I'm in. So, Johnny, give us an elevator statement. You're a bit of a pitch.
All right. Johnny Costa, founder, investment manager of Influx Capital Management. We are a champion for the small guy. We bring advanced investing strategies to small investors, and I also specialize in getting life insurance, the best life insurance for people. That's me.
Super cool. My name is Graham. I am the founder and director of Native Speakers Academy. We are a small, private, holistic language school based in Banska Bystrica in beautiful central Slovakia. Basically, we do two things. We teach the English language and we offer life coaching. What we're working on at the moment is a project to migrate the school from the physical world into the virtual world. Hopefully, as a result, creating an opportunity to bring in more customers and offer more services to our clients. That's where we're at. Now, back to the avalanche. Back to the avalanche. I'm at the bottom of the mountain. The snow is coming down on top of me, and the problem is that sometimes when you're on a road somewhere, in terms of information, like I'm studying to get new information, I learn something, and it completely takes me in a different direction. So here's the practical example of this what would normally be distraction, but it's not irrelevant distraction. And I wonder if non-irrelevant distraction perhaps fits into situational opportunism, perhaps.
No, right. That's right.
Yeah.
Your order.
Yeah. The situational opportunism movement is affected by the distractions that happen. So I wanted to plan what I'm going to do, starting with research phase. I think that's collecting data and information is always one of those key parts at the beginning. First, make your plan of the stages, and the first stage is collect data, collect information, bring things together, find out what you know, what you don't know, what you need to know, and just gather, whether it's from the internet or books or from people as resources. And so I started with these, I don't know if you saw on the Facebook, I posted 4 of the sessions that I went through.
I did. I looked at him just a little while ago.
Yeah, it's just, That was just to say, hey guys, I've dived in.
And hang on, and what exactly are those courses, or are those just where are those?
Okay.
I saw what they were. They had titles to them. I wasn't sure if they were courses that you went through, or if they were just someone's site that you're looking at.
Okay, these are courses offered at Ryan Lee's Freedom,
Free DEMU.
yeah, Freedom MU. They actually have courses. They actually have tutorials. unlike unlike other people
Right.
who
And
string together a lot of words, but not really with any educational content or constructive content there, which is fine for motivation. But
okay.
they they actually teach you how to do things, which yeah, how revolutionary is that, right? They
Huh.
actually teach you how to do things. So the first one that I went through was it this one or this one? I think it was this one. Let me see if I can pull it up on my screen here. On my other computer. Hopefully it's not going to jump into the middle of the recording. Was the Continuity University workshop recordings. This was 5 hours of how to set up a continuity system for recurring revenue through membership sites. And this was a Ryan Lee presentation. And so
Are
I
those included? Those are included in the course. They're not an upsell.
no, they're all included in the course. It's one of those. It, it, it's just another example. There's so much material, some of which is good, and some of which is, I'll say some of which is average, and some of which is very good. There's nothing which is bad. There are just things that are relevant to what you need and things that are not relevant. Like there's how to make a better podcast is not really very interesting for me,
Right.
right? So, but
It may be good. It just isn't relevant.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it might be gold for somebody, right?
Right.
It might be exactly what they're looking for. Um, so I went through those 5 hours taking notes, and the good thing there was that Ryan Lee talked about the different pieces of software that you can use and how they all integrate together. And I won't go into it in any more detail, just to say that I did that, and then that took me to creating a membership site with wish list and how to get the membership site and the WordPress and the wish list to all integrate together. The second half of that was just too confusing for me because I'm not there yet. The first half was like, okay, I get that, but then you need to be actually in the programs to work out how all those things work and get all the plugins to connect together. Then I went through Lynn Coffey do's and don'ts about making websites attractive for visitors, and then I went through the education workshop, which was how somebody set up an English language school and how they set it up and gathered
What Rudy was
data.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing that riles me or gets on my nerves about all of these sites
Okay.
is something which is actually really positive, which is that none of them are great. None of what any of these people are doing is great, and they're all making money. It's all average to good, including this English language site, which is, I would never send anyone there. I would never encourage anyone to do any of the courses, but the person's making a fortune.
Really?
Yeah, and it's their model and it's their way and it's their system and their customers are happy and that's all cool, right? That's all super cool. But
So look, even Lois Hughes has an academy. His university now.
the School of Greatness Academy, it looks, yeah, I've just noticed that in the background. It looks like Lewis Howes is going in that direction as well, the same way as Ryan Lee, and I think Tony Robbins also set up something like that as well, I think.
Possibly, yeah.
So, but then Lewis Howes's, hour-long interviews, the 360 hour-long interviews, each interview is a masterclass on greatness itself.
Mm.
So so the information is basically already there. It just depends how people set it up and how they present it to the public and how they get people to become members. Okay, so I need to build a new website and I need it to be a membership site. Uh, so I'm like, okay, what am I going to use to build the new website? I'm going to use WordPress because everyone uses WordPress and it's the industry standard and it seems to be simple. And if other people can do it, I can do it, right? And then I need the plugin for membership. So I need this wish list plugin, which allows me to create a platform that only people who have paid or who have codes or access can get into the site to get all the information from it. And so I was halfway down that road yesterday when I came across the information that Google Sites is going to be updated to be a platform basically the same as WordPress.
When?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? They haven't had an update since 2009, and they are testing it this year.
Beta testing.
Yes, yeah, and this information only came out a few months ago. So that sent me down, okay, what plugins can I get for my site, and can I set up things over my site? And then I got into studying that, into Google Sites and all the plugins, and I realized that the Google Sites is terrible. So basically, everything that's cool about WordPress is that WordPress integrates with anything in the world, basically.
Okay.
And you can bring it all in together, but Google Sites doesn't. So I got sidetracked into that when I was looking at the first topic, and that led me into that, which led me into looking at what plugins work and then what are good plugins, and then if I do set up a website, what do I need to add to the website to collect data and metrics and put in it.
Okay, so what did you find out?
Do we have 6 years to explain what I've come across?
Okay. Then let me rattle questions at you. Okay, so what are you going to use as your main website? What company?
Oh, the WordPress is going to become the main website.
What do you use to for the code for members to put in?
Wish list.
Cool.
List.
Wish list. Okay, cool. And then
video hosting on the internet, Wistia. Wistia, that's another site you have to use to put your videos on there to let you integrate them with the other ones. So there's a map. I've got the technology mapped out. I sketched out a transition phase, which is September, October, November, December, January. September is research month, collect data. Yeah.
Okay. So the WordPress, is that the $300 a year site? When you have to use?
The WordPress is just a general online website. It's free.
It's free?
WordPress is free.
You sure?
WordPress is free. Wishlist costs.
I've looked it up and there's 3 packages. There's 100, 200, and 300.
Okay. I think we're talking about different things because I know that WordPress is free. That's why everyone uses it. Everyone uses it because it's free.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe you're looking at other companies that run that for you, whereas I'm looking at building it myself. I don't know. So the wish list's about $100 a year, and Wistia have different packages and programs.
Cool.
Like.
Okay, cool. All right, good. So about your timeline: September, October, November, December.
Okay, so September is data collection. Just research, watch as many videos as I can, read as many websites as I can, find out, see if I can pick up any little pieces of information that might be useful before I start doing something. October is get the WordPress site up, and I wanted to do the WordPress site and then integrate the other things, but when you build it, you have to build it all together, right? So you can't just build the WordPress and build the wish list and build the Wistia. You've got to integrate them all as you build them together. So I had this plan originally, like I'll build the WordPress and then I'll put the other things in. But you can't build the WordPress until you understand how the membership integrates into the site, and you build the pages from that to see where you're going to direct people. So it's all going to be built at the same time, rather than one, two, three. Then the October is to get that up and running. Then November is, once that's basically up and running and I know that works, November is build the content on the site. Take what I've done already and sort of quantify it and put it into as what I would call the old school courses. So, and now the old school courses are going to be the free entry level for new clients. Those will be free courses for anyone who joins. And then, according to the sketched out plan, the school is going to offer free courses, then all basic online courses, and then private coaching is going to be the upsell as the final point. And the school is going to be divided into two areas: English language coaching, information for teachers, information for students, and life skills, information for parents, and information for individuals. And that's how the content's going to be built, which sounds like a big project. It's probably far too big. I mean, simple is beautiful, and I've just gone to the other end of the spectrum, as usual. So November is build content, the courses, the levels, have all that in. December is testing and streamlining the site for the whole month to make sure that the first week in January it can be launched, and then to work on promotion and marketing in the first few months and begin to build up that. Yeah.
Back up. Where are you going to market this? Where are your clients?
Been through that. So the school has 4 target areas of clients. Those target areas are students who want to build their language skills, students of the English language, generally intermediate to upper intermediate. That's the higher tier of levels.
Where, geographically, where are they?
Anyone who has English as a second language. So that's any country where English is not the first language.
Okay, cool. Then let me cut to the chase here. Okay, so, so if you're going global, even if you're going local, okay, you need people to be able to find your site, because if you wait until January till everything's done to start doing your SEO, it's going to take 4 to 6 months for all of your SEO to start populating.
Yeah, it's just too much work to do everything at the same time. It needs, and it's also a mistake to have people go into your site and it not be ready as well.
Oh yeah, no. I wasn't saying that for it to be. I mean, you can still lock it up to where there's no members, but I guess on second thought, it's probably a bit better to start slow anyways. So the clients will trickle in.
Well, that's the whole point, is collection. Like today I was looking at, just realizing horrible mistakes I've made, like not setting up a pop-up to collect the emails of people who visit my website. Was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
It's just a huge mistake. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Just laziness, maybe. I don't know. That every website needs something on the front which pops up as soon as someone goes there and gets them to put in their email address, so that you can then promote directly to them. And I was checking Google Sites to see if there's a plugin that works like that on Google Sites, and there's nothing like that. But I might be able to overlay something from another company, but I haven't had time to check that out yet. But that was a big mistake. And so that's one of the plugins that I need to add on the website to get people to the website, get people visiting the site, and then I need to be offering them something for free so that they'll give me their email address and I'll send them some information and yada yada yada. And I got this second book planned out in the back of my mind, which is a project that I want to run in con- conjunction with that and get the book done by the end of the year and then offer that to people who come to the website so that I can get their email address. Um, so it all kind of ties in together. So who are my clients? The question is, who are my clients?
Yeah.
Um, Students who want to grow their level of skills within the English language. Teachers who need more professional development support, don't get it, teachers of the English language. And then in the life coaching, it's parents who want help communicating with their children, and it's individuals or couples in relationships who want help working on their personal development. So, which is all the basic system that I've sketched out, but I need to build the platform, which is then going to each week offer it's going to offer online video coaching and data and information related to those specific subjects for those 4 groups. And I think that there's those, do you set up one website for one group and one website for another group, or do you just set up one site and have everybody going, or everybody going through one site?
Yeah, no, I have a question. Yeah, I have a question about. I think for you it would be. Yeah, I think for you it would be one. And that's a good question. Well, because I mean, you might confuse them with all the different content, but I mean, you basically just give the content to everyone.
It's basically a yes/no system.
Yeah.
It's a flow chart of yes no. Do you want this or this? Do you want this or this? Do you want this or this? And they're in the course.
Well, okay, but you know what too? I'm guessing, and I don't know, but like I would like BU they have a new site, and they offered some I don't know viral video course to the people they're paying 200 a month. So someone like me paying 20 a month, 20 quid a month, I can't unlock that. So maybe there's a way to where if I'm on your site and I'm paying for the parents, that I can only unlock the parent site.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be.
Oh, okay. So so then you already know that.
So it's like people on the front page of the site. They'll be, are you interested in the English language, or are you interested in life coaching?
Yeah.
Click here, click here. Click on the English language. Are you a teacher or are you a student? Teacher goes into here, that's a teacher's course. Student goes into here, that's a student course. If you click on the life coaching, it takes you to ask you, are you a parent or are you an individual or a couple?
Now, is that after someone signed up, or is that for just free? That's for free information.
No, this is only for people who have signed.
So that's basically their login. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's how they get in now. But with 3 tiers designed, where there'll be a first tier, which will be there'll be a section of, maybe there'll be even something before that, which will be the free content, the free courses. There'll be these specific courses and then private coaching. So there might be, you can take these courses or, free courses or private coaching as well. So that'll be the way. That's just like flow system,
Yep.
whatever they call it, to get into it. So that's the basic idea. And then another thing that frustrated me when I looked at what other people were doing was that they were all creating sites without much concern about the content of the sites. No, I think you know what I'm talking about there. It's like I'm going to set up the site to funnel people in, and I'm going to offer them all these services and this kind of information. And after 6 months, I'll probably get bored and go and do something else, right?
Yep, yep.
And that seemed to me a lot of what other people were doing. Not everybody, but a lot of them seemed to be how can I get as many people in, but they weren't really that much thinking about how can I deliver a service and whether my service actually works, which I think is pretty important for long-term businesses. I'm not setting up something that is a 6-month business. I'm looking at 3 to 5 years, basically. I want in 3 years there to be enough built up through this system for me to not have to worry about anything at all. That's
What do you mean not worry about? Worry about what? Worry about your
finance,
bills? Worry about?
yeah, financially.
Okay.
Financially, I want to have um, over 3 years. I want to have 1,000 clients uh, using the resources and materials of the school, each paying $1 a day, basically, over 3 years. So and I think that if I set the goal for 1,000 and I only get 500, I'll be quite happy in that
Right.
in that sense. So that and the idea that there are actually 4 different systems running through the school, which is 4 opportunities, which is it's then why don't I set up a school site which is a completely free site, and I don't want to end up running 15 different sites and not being able to keep up with that. And I've had that problem in the past where I had 3 websites that I was running, and just three actual websites, not including the Facebook sites connected to that, the YouTube sites connected to that, and any other. You got LinkedIn, you got the Google Plus pages. Before you know it, you've got 15 web pages, the Pinterest pages. You've got 15 web pages that you're trying to manage, and it's just impossible. Yeah. So I don't want to get stuck with, and that's what I did over the last 4 or 5 years was take all the sites that I had and gradually
Hmm.
cut them out, cut them out, cut them out, cut them out, cut
Okay.
them out,
You
come
can
out.
consolidate.
Yeah. Just consolidate and filter down to what is actually practical for me to work on, which is the home site, the Facebook page, the 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 Pinterest page, and everything else I consider like LinkedIn as something extra that I do from time to time just to keep up with data. So I've been trying to cut it down to something which is really really manageable, and um, and so that's what I've been looking at. And I also ended up, because I was looking at marketing and advertising and putting on plugins, I ended up looking at the Facebook advertising as well. And do you know what? When we talked about it before, that you made the little Facebook advertisement and you were saying it's pretty simple and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
I just I just bang did that today in 5 minutes.
Oh, cool.
I was I was like
Right.
I can study this for a week and look at all these different things and all these
Exactly.
metrics and worry about this, or I can make an advert in
What
five
what
minutes.
what you learned from Johnny's Kitty?
There we go. There we go. It's the the school of English and the kitty love or something. I don't know. So um yeah, exactly. So and then with this thought that next week I'll review it and say, well, I did that and that didn't work. So now I can go and take what Rudy's given me and Johnny's told me and other people have said and do the next step, which is even better, which will be even better because I just made that. I was just like, I'm just going to throw something out, and if something comes back, it's great. And I haven't worried too much about tweaking this here and tweaking that there and making sure that I'm not worried at the moment, but
Right.
I'm going to collect more data and build on it. And that's part of I'm it's not really designed that way, but it kind of fits into that philosophy of just put it out there. Just put an ad out and see what comes
Right.
back, and
Right.
then take the next step and refine it and make it better. And I'm already thinking about, okay, was the graphic right or not? Should I change the graphic next week? And then what should I, how does it, should it be perhaps a video and not an image that's there? And is it going to encourage more people to interact? Where do I want people to go when they click on the advertisement? Do I want to take them to my Facebook page, or do I want them to go to my home site? It's just, and so it just gives you a kind of picture of the avalanche, right?
Here's something I don't know. I'm gonna throw this out. So, Facebook uses cookies. In someone's in my computer, Facebook uses my cookies and my cache to advertise to me. I wonder if for me, in looking at the like the insurance, I wonder if I could create a false like use a topic like life insurance and do all this research, send myself emails and see whose other advertisements come to me to see what other people are doing.
Um, yeah, run. That's fried my brain. Run me through that again.
Okay. So let me say it directly to you. Okay, so you are trying to do an ad. Now, I'm curious what other English as a second language people um, are advertising, or who I want to hear your competition is on Facebook. I wonder what their ads look like.
Well,
So,
sorry,
hang on.
sorry,
So
sorry.
if I were you, I would create false do searches and send yourself emails regarding English second language and see what your Facebook and Google generates.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of local schools, and
That's fine.
that's actually what sparked my interest. It's one of um, the only organized bigger local school here, and there's 15 to 20 schools in this area, and
Wow,
but
crazy.
it's big business, and
Really? There's none
yeah,
here.
uh, um, it's when you get into the minutia of how big this business is, apparently the English language business is Britain's seventh largest export.
Really?
Yeah, the English language business, Oxford
Huh.
University, Cambridge University, the publishing houses, it's it's Britain's seventh largest export.
Wow.
It's massive, and your market is endless because there's no end of state systems that don't work. So the private,
Right.
and when you've got a publishing house and you're selling to captive markets like schools, one book for one course you could theoretically sell to every single student
Mm.
studying at one level in every country. It's potentially huge. Um, and that's the commercial market. That's not even the private. That's not even the inner university market as well, which
Hmm.
spending a lot of money on things that nobody reads or looks at or cares about. Um, so hey, and if you want an example of how one person can change everything, or how important the individual is in business, me and my school have done more than the entire education systems of all the countries on the planet in the last 10 years.
What do
I
you
have
mean you've done more?
I've progressed the the educational method further than all of the institutions, because all the institutions are doing the same thing, and they're not working. They're not working. The whole education bubble system thing is just crashing because it's not working, because there's no jobs for anyone when they finish, and no one gives a flying monkey, right? They don't,
Wow.
because the university professors don't care if the students get jobs when they leave the university, because why
Right.
should they? It's not their problem. So
Okay, so you get people jobs.
well, I actually help people to get to where they want to go, and I have a 90 in 15 years of this work, I have a 98% success rate in exams.
Okay, well that's gotta be on your website.
Um,
Well, what kind of exams?
I'll, exams that students wish to do, uh, any English language exams for people who don't have English as a first language worldwide.
Mm.
So I mean that's a huge success rate. I mean 98% is incredibly
Yeah,
successful.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I've only had, I think, three students
Hey, well
fail
you're
in.
really. Hey, well you're telling the wrong person. You need to get press releases out, man. You need to get that thing out. People need to know about that.
Yeah,
People are going to their places and they're failing tests, whatnot. People need to know about you.
yeah, it just doesn't work like that. No one's interested. You, no one's interested. Business secrets. No one's interested in this part of the world. No one's interested in success. People are only interested in the image of success. So no one's interested in their children having a good education. They're only interested in the image of their children having a good education.
Okay.
And so they send them to establishments that are reputable, but not producing the results that they appear to produce. They're just freshly painted.
So like private schools, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Montessori?
Doesn't really work like that. Montessori doesn't really deal with languages specifically. It's more general education. But there is one specific franchise that does deal with languages, Helen Doran Education. But that's a franchise, and you're basically getting McDonald's, right? So
Hmm.
so that doesn't work
Okay,
because
good. All right.
I got off track there. There was
Yeah,
a
way off
question.
track. So
Sorry.
what? No, okay. What do you need? So okay. So we started off with your timeline, September, October, December, and we went off on different tangents on websites on how to get on websites. So let's kind of get back to purpose. So what are you? So do you have it written out? You have it written out. Then what you need to do? Okay, whoa. We started this by saying that you're really busy, and then you said everything you were doing.
And then Facebook, got onto Facebook ads as well.
Yeah, yeah, we went
Yeah.
right to. Okay, so do you have written down, or do or do you have images, pictures, stickies, whatever, of your steps to take to launch January 1st?
No, that will be next step because
Okay, no, it's fine.
I
And
no, because you're absolutely right, because I've got a plan in front of me, which I sketched out today when I was in the garage because my car broke down, and so I'm having a great time with things, and uh, so yeah, I'm going to put it up on a board so I can see the steps that I have to go through each month to in January be able to migrate my focus from what I call the old school to the new school,
Yeah.
and to focus that. So, um,
Okay,
I,
and then so now, how are you going to make progress? Because as I know, in the research phase, you're going to go from one thing being like a ping pong game, right? Or not ping pong,
pinball.
nah, pinball. I mean, yeah, you're going to be like that. That's how I get with my investment research. So how are you going to be able to stay focused, but at the same time, because there are great things to learn online that you didn't plan on learning. We all know that. But how will you stay focused so that you get as much research done in September as you can and stay on track?
Doing exactly what you said, which is I'm gonna have this board of information, and it's
Okay.
going to be September, October, November, December, January, and I said September is going to be research and all the elements connected with research. October is going to be website building and all the elements connected with website building.
Here's something I just thought real fast.
Mhm.
Is I wonder if there might already be something, but like when you're doing research and you come across a great page, why not either email the page to yourself or save it somewhere so that and then have a certain period of time to where you only go in to stuff that you've come across.
That's a great idea. I am you you don't want to see my desktop right now, mate. You just, I mean, I'm a
It's
person
all
who
full of
oh my God, it's like, oh, this folder, and I got to put this in here. Oh, okay,
yeah.
and that's important, and I promise I got to get that done, and that's important, and I got this marketing folder for this, and that's important, and I got these images, and that's important, I got this data, and that's important. I got to set up these payments, and I got to check these accounts, and ooh, I don't know if there's something called backsliding, but that's kind of there are some things which should be going forward, which
Yeah,
which,
right.
which are not. Like, let me give you an example of something which I should have done, which I haven't done, which I'm not even getting around to. It's that I know I've sold copies of my book, and there are no registered copies sold.
Oh, right. Haven't you done that yet? Then haven't you dealt with that yet? Because Rudy was supposed to send you a receipt.
I haven't got Rudy's receipt yet. He hasn't sent me a receipt. But that's he was talking about the Prime membership thing with that, and that's slightly different how it works with the Prime membership. Apparently, apparently you have to read a certain percentage of the book before they transfer the money or something. He was talking about it. It's a bit weird. Right.
Oh.
I don't know how. I don't even know how that works. I don't know. Something about.
Kindle, is it Kindle Unlimited?
I think it's Amazon Prime, but I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm not sure. Rudy was saying that that it works different with Prime. Anyway, I know people have bought my book through Amazon, and officially on Amazon there are 0 copies sold.
Huh.
I've got one receipt from one person who's bought it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and on the second platform, the Galaxy platform, I've got one receipt from one person who's bought it there, and it's showing 0 sales on that platform as well.
Wow. Interesting. On all platforms.
Yeah, so I can see where Amazon gets its profits from now. It just doesn't tell people they've
Well,
sold copies of the book.
yeah. Oh, really? I thought that would be interesting to know for me to know.
Well, that would make perfect sense to me because no one can check them. Who's checking
Wow.
them?
Wow. That would be huge.
It would be huge. There could be some piece of information that I'm missing. There probably is something somewhere that I'm missing, but um, that's my experience at the moment. Until I get in touch with them, I have to get in touch with them and say, look, what's happening? And if they say to me, oh, you didn't put this code into this page at this time,
I want to know the results of that because that could be an investment short. I mean, I don't know how much revenue comes from books, but it might only be a small part of their business. But if that were to be uncovered,
yeah,
that
that's
That that
Yeah,
would
but
be a
who
great
checks?
short position. We can make a fortune.
There's well, with things like some other site, was it Facebook that got caught with false ad or click numbers,
Did they?
and Twitter got
Uh,
done with false follower numbers as well.
mm, hmm.
So a lot of the statistical data, not all of it, a lot of the statistical data from big companies is skewed in their favor. I'm not saying that they do it intentionally, but it, I mean, I'm not saying they do it deviously. I'm just saying that it's naturally positive from that perspective. It's like, how do you know exactly how many click-throughs came on some
Right.
click on some page anyway?
Exactly, and I don't know. I don't know how many impressions they like Facebook. They said, I was getting, I forget how many impressions a day, 600 impressions a day. But how do I know that?
Yeah,
You
well,
only
it's,
just guessing, huh?
well, it's like Max Kaiser who worked on the virtual stock market uh, programs. He was saying that there is space within those programs for manipulation by the people using them, and hundreds of thousands of a second matter
Mm.
in transactions. So he he said it. You cannot make a perfect system. You cannot make a perfect system that cannot be manipulated. That cannot not be manipulated. There's always a certain element of something in every system that has manipulation. It's natural, uh, just because of the way that everything is built. So, um,
Okay, let's stay on course. All right, so
right.
all right, so you have your outcome. You know where you're going, and you have your timeline.
I have, or it's very very clear to me. Now I need to make it very very clear to others
Yes.
what it is I need to be doing and the steps that I need to be taking. And even with the data collection, it's collecting so much information. Processing it is even complex. When you
And now, yeah, what are you collecting it for? To build the site or the content for the site?
well, I thought that it would be a good idea to collect information before going to build a site, just because there might be because I don't know quite what I'm getting into.
Mm,
It's like it's like if you're going to visit a foreign country, you might want to get a book and read a little bit about what to
right.
expect, what not to expect, what might be normal, and so I don't want to dive into building a WordPress site and then realize there's something else that I've missed, which
Right.
is what I found with this. Oh, let's go to some sites like I did today. I was like, okay, let's go to a site that compares the the Google Sites options with the WordPress options, and compare this site and then compare another website and compare another website and look at the comparisons, and I just feel more confident that I'm making the right choice now because everything goes in the direction of the WordPress plugins are essential for development of streamlining the marketing and the membership sites and all those elements connected there. So um, so that's good. And then getting an idea of if I read about what plugins, what extra software I can add to the site, then as I'm building it, I'm aware of what I can use at which point in time in the future. So it's the data, the information is all being resourced for. Okay, I know at some point in time in the future I can set up like a list builder to collect emails. I can set up a behavior map and put that over the top of the website, and that's a heat map that tells you where the mouse is
Mm.
moving when people visit the site and
Wow,
things like that.
interesting.
Yeah, so these
Man.
are things that I was looking at today. Um, so different boxes you can get appearing at in different stages on your website, and how to optimize that for data collection and so on.
Cool. Okay, so I have about 5 minutes left. So what what else can I help you with?
Um,
What would you like to leave here with and feel accomplished?
I would like to have all my paperwork done in the office today. That would make me feel like I accomplished something. I think that what I know that I need to do is make a plan that is very clear for you guys on the other side to understand and to keep me accountable to that plan.
Okay, and let's talk about that. So why is that? And I'm going to challenge with that too because I clearly see that. I mean, it was my idea to have the end of the year vision. I clearly see it in my head, but at the same time, when I write it down, it's not as it doesn't go onto the paper as clear.
Um, that's probably because the brain doesn't think in sentences. The brain thinks in
Right.
images.
Yeah.
And so what you've got in your head is an image. And
Mm.
then when you write something down, it's going to look different written down as opposed to that image. So that gives you,
Right. Right.
so I would suggest a
Use images,
picture.
pictures. Okay.
Yeah, pictures.
Yeah, I think
Pictures
I'll do
that
that. That's what I'm gonna do.
rather than
Yep.
rather than words, because we can get lost in the details of trying to explain things that are not really that important. So so I would use the concept of image being very powerful
Okay. Good.
in that way.
Does that help you at all?
Um, I think for me the most important thing is how I can see that things are not going to be exactly as I envision them. Right? So I got this picture in my head, but I know it's not going to be exactly like the picture in my head. And so what's important for me is when I hit the problems to be able to keep going forward, even though I'm going to hit a lot of problems in this in the process of this project. And um, uh, I think
So
that yeah.
in terms of your planning for us, is there something that we can help you with? You want accountability? You want a deadline for me and Rudy to check in on you?
I think I'm going to be throwing so many questions out that that
Okay.
the most important thing is to keep on track with what I've put down as a monthly plan, which is
Okay.
September research, October
Okay.
building, November content, December testing and streamlining, in January launching.
Okay. Cool.
So that
Cool. Cool.
from January next year, my aim is going to I'm going to gradually forget about the old system and build up the new system. I want to transition into it. So and that's been the whole purpose of this year has been keep things going forward without losing
Yeah.
energy, but transition, transition. Show the clients of the school that the school is still here to support them, but that it's going forward at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's that's the plan. And then I know that there's this oh just put it out there, get it up, and
Yeah, no, no. I'm with you on that. I mean, there's two things that you know. There's, well, I hate to say it, but there's whoever whoever that guy that Rudy interviewed for the mastermind, where there's a thing where
Amadeus or something, or I
yeah,
don't know.
So there's one thing as what perfect but never get anything accomplished, or actually doing the work but getting it up when it's perfect. There's two different things. So I think you're fine with that. I think that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I could break things down and say, okay, I'm gonna have one site for this and build
Yeah.
that. I could have I'm gonna have a student site, and then I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
teacher site, and then I'm gonna have the coaching site, and
Yeah, one thing I will mention to you though is that you're gonna learn a lot. So I mean, even if you launch in January 1st, you're gonna be making slight adjustments January 3rd, January 4th. So and that's the thing about not necessarily have. I mean, you want to have something, a great product out there to start, but
yeah,
just know that you're going to be tweaking. So I mean, so it's not going to be done January.
yeah, and I think that having more available through one site. Well, here's something. Here's a
Yeah.
picture I have in my head is that people can cross over from one category or one group into another group, right? The students can grow into the teacher section. The the personal coaching can grow into parental coaching and so on. And so people might move between the different courses. And then I can what I would call I don't know what to call I could pre-funnel it by later on, maybe a year or year down the line, setting up another site which leads people into this site.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So that so that instead of doing individual sites at the beginning, I do the individual sites later, but they feed into the one site. They all feed in together. So it would look like there are four sites, but later on, but there'd only be one. There'd be one at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's how it should look. Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, I gotta run. Can you send me the WordPress site where you're gonna build your website? The WordPress page,
Um,
or just send the post a link, whatever. Because that's the
I
web address, right?
Rudy would be the person to ask about that because Rudy has been building a page already, so I haven't even done that yet. I'm just data collection.
Okay,
So I
got it.
haven't started building at all. So Rudy, if you just write on the Facebook chat, Rudy, send me where you built your site or something, um, then that'll come in. And oh, final question: did you check out the Lewis House interview that I posted? Because you said to Rudy that he needed to.
Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah, I will, and I'll explain to you why. Because we, I listened to it on YouTube while I was working,
Yeah,
and it talked about mastermind, and I thought it was how to be a better like we do a better
yeah,
mastermind,
yeah,
but it wasn't. But everything he talked about is what Rudy is doing, and I know Rudy is specializing in bedside manner, but it seems like this guy's doing everything else besides bedside manner that Rudy needs, and I'm not sure Rudy needs to pay this guy 30 grand to do it, but this is exactly what this is doing what he's trying to build.
yeah, yeah. This what Rudy was talking about, and this guy's talking about is the same thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Except,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
this guy's done. This guy's done it.
Exactly. Except for the bedside manner. That's the only thing that Rudy has different.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
know
Yeah.
that's why I listened to it. And I listened like 20 minutes. It didn't really apply to me, but it was great stuff. And then I automatically said, "Hey, you got to watch this." So hopefully he's watching it.
Yeah, that's a great interview. I listened to the interview twice because he was just throwing out so much information about the problem that I have as well, which is he explains as a one-to-one trainer, your time is killing you. He
Yeah,
goes he
yep,
goes
yep,
through
yep,
that there.
yep,
He
yep.
goes through that whole problem there.
And then, like you said too at the beginning, was some things that he says other people should hear, something that someone says other people, yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly.
And then he explains how he built his
Mm,
network and his system,
interesting.
and of course that parallels not just with fitness, but with anyone who's stuck in the one-to-one and needs to
Yep.
expand beyond
Which
that.
you and Rudy are, yeah. And then, hey, just real fast, I got to run, but I will tell you this though, I am actually going online as well. I kind of got inspired by you guys with that book I read, and so I'm looking to take my life insurance business and go U.S. wide
Uh-huh.
with it, and also my in my investment business to go U.S. wide online too. So I'm not doing exactly what you guys are doing, but I'm doing a lot of the same thing.
Well,
So
you know what's
we'll
going to
start
be
there together.
happening at the beginning of next year is we're all going to be doing basically the same thing, right? You know,
Right?
from the
Yeah.
beginning of next, you're going to be setting up a funnel into a site
Right.
to offer people services at different levels with
Yeah.
finance.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing the same thing with languages and
Yeah.
coaching. Rudy's
Yeah.
going to be doing the same thing with fitness and his videos.
Yeah.
So it all kind of works in together, basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So anything that works for any one of us will probably work for
Right, right. And
the
that's why I'm
others.
curious about that WordPress because that's one of my first steps. I mean, I already have a lot of my content on my site, but I need a separate site for life insurance
Mhm.
for different niches. So
Yeah, and it's that there's only one way. There's only one way to go, and you need everyone needs to reach that next level of audience, which
yeah,
is which is you you need to be presenting to more people and have people who are members, and you got to you got to
yeah,
break the one-to-one mold where
yeah, exactly.
you're sitting down with one person. When you're sitting down with one person talking to them about their problem,
Yeah,
you've lost because you cannot communicate with all the other people you need to communicate to solve their
yeah.
problems as well.
And that's right. And I'm not directly in that, but that's where I'm at in finance too. I mean, I have one client with one problem, which everyone has kind of the same problem. So I'm looking to scale it. Scale really is what we're doing. Scale.
Yeah, and
The golden word.
yeah, absolutely. And if something works for one person in one place, then the idea is to multiply that, right?
Yep, yep, yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I gotta run.
Right, super cool. Thank you. You've masterminded me, or I don't know,
Good.
whatever. Just done.
Wow.
The, the,
Abracadabra. You are
I've been I've been kazammed.
I can say I'm right.
Oh, oh my God. All right. I expect you to write onto the Facebook chat within the next 24 hours. One thing you're going to do between now and next week that's going to move your business forward, and I'll keep you
Okay, perfect.
accountable. I'll keep you accountable to that as well.
Good man. I will do that.
Right, and it's Rudy's job to watch this video. And Rudy, if you're watching, I hope your daughter is feeling a bit better. Yeah, because that's things. Right, dude, it done. That's our grind through for today. That's the end of 60 minutes of rambling success and untangling the the mess that is my business at the moment. Right, back on track. Speak to you soon, mate. Okay,
Sounds good. Thank you.
speak to you soon. You take it easy.
All right, you too.